What we're going to do is assess his forward motion, and I'm palpating the hip bone, and when I feel that hip start to move, then I know that's the maximum that his forward motion is. But I also want to feel for any myofascial restrictions. Just lay down here, Bubba. So slowly and feel, and that's the maximum range of motion he has before I feel the hamstring start to pull on the ischial tuberosity. Then we'll go forward, and again we want to assure that the hip doesn't move. And there's about the maximum that he has to the back. So it's a little bit more to the rear than he does to the front if we just take a plumb line from the hip socket here and drop it straight down. We can come up and check the range of motion in his shoulder fairly simply. And he's pretty good. This is latissimus dorsi that's pulling right here, and here it is. So that's what's stopping the range of his shoulder. So we do this on both sides and get an idea of how much range he has. I'm going to go ahead and do just a little bit of release here for the purposes of this video, so you can see how we can increase this range of motion for him. I'm going into the lumbar aponeurosis, lumbar fascia, and the hamstrings come all the way up into where my fingers are here, and sacrum, into the sacral bed, and we're just going to release this a little bit. Good. And you can see how much more range he has now since we did that little bit of release work. Okay. So check the other side like we did his right side and see there's not much. You can actually see the lower left leg moving when we do this. So there's the end of the range. A little bit better than the initial point for the right side, but it's not that great. And then we'll take it back. And he's got pretty good range there. So it's mostly just coming forward. Now, I don't know what the involvement of this scar is in this. If I just palpate the scar from the cranial side, you can see how this fascia just dips down here. So let's do some skin rolling and see what happens. It's not terrible right there. Yeah, so there's a lot of pulling here. We'll go ahead and release that, and then we'll be able to reassess. All of this fascia has to let out in order for the back legs to come forward. This is the tensor fascial lata right here, and the tendon is fairly hypertonic. So we're just going to put our thumb on that tendon and hold it for a little while. Wait for Golgi tendon organ to release. Yeah, you can watch. There it goes. It takes anywhere from 90 seconds on. Good. A little bit more. So now here's the border of that tensor fascial lata, and I'm just going to take that border, compress it. So I'm compressing the border caudally towards his tail. I'm just holding it, waiting for a release. There's a release. Taking up the slack. Wait for a release, and then continue. Good. So let's have you lay back down. And we'll just check his leg. And much better. Much better range. We want to make sure that he's not pulling on his hip. Okay.